Hello, my name is Evgeny Pashentsev. I'm going to introduce for you several episodes from my new book, The Strategic Communication of the United States of America from Venezuela to Ukraine. The crisis in Ukraine, from bad to worse. In Ukraine, the situation is going from bad to worse. Pro-Nazi Kiev authorities will not cease hostility voluntarily, and the external patrons will not refuse to use the situation in the country for their global purposes. And even if part of American elite is prone to compromise, the other part has completely different modes. Let us look back to deliberately arrogant actions to support the Maidan. In fact, armed rioters in Kiev, arranged by the West, annoying leaks of strategic information, scandalous talk between Deputy Secretary of State Victoria Nuland and American Ambassador in Kiev Geoffrey Piat, and who from leaders of the Ukrainian opposition must be included into the new government of the country, as well as not less scandalous talk of the representative of the European Union for Foreign Affairs, Catherine Ashton, who is the Minister of Foreign Affairs of Estonia, Urmas Paet, in which there was information that in the sniper's case the latter had been connected with someone from the opposition. However, the aggravation of the all-national crisis in Ukraine was provoked with political and economic measures of the government of Mr. Yatsenyuk. A very important role was also played by large-scale use of army divisions for suppressions of protests in the east of the country. The current management of the Security Service of Ukraine, SBU, headed by its chairman, Valentin Nalyvaichenko, is directly and closely connected with both the CIA and the pro-Nazi right sector, in creation of which the SBU played an active part, which is supported with numerous materials, including videos. Moreover, according to a member of the political council of the right sector, like Odnorozhenko, the backbone of military, of the armed forces and law enforcement structures of Ukraine now consists of the people connected with the right sector, in one way or another. In April 12-13, 2014, Director of the CIA John Brennan visited Ukraine, after which the resolution of commencement of the anti-terrorist operation has been taken. During the visit, Brennan met representatives of the law enforcement unit appointed by the Supreme Rada, the Parliament of Ukraine. Ukraine's government has formally ended an Easter truce and is relaunching the active phase of an anti-terrorist operation, told reporters the First Deputy Prime Minister Vitaly Yeroma a day after Vice President Joe Biden visited Kiev. He added, "We have obtained the support of the United States, that they will not leave us alone with an aggressor. We hope that in the event of Russian aggression, this help will be more substantive." As a result, new bloodshed happened in the Ukraine, but the regime failed to achieve its goals in the east of the country. The International Monetary Fund's official report on the emergency loan, released May the 1st, concedes that there are deep risks to its successful implementation, including the quickly eroding economy, corruption, and the current and future government's ability to implement much-needed reforms. Moreover, it added, should the central government lose effective control over the East, the program will need to be redesigned. The highly industrialized eastern region is crucial to the country's economy. The three provinces of Donetsk, Lugansk, and Kharkiv accounting for about 21% of GDP and 30% of total industrial production of the country. The Kiev regime understands well the will of IMF and provoked May the 2nd the bloodshed in Odessa. The trade union's house in that city was set on fire by pro-Kiev radicals after they surrounded and destroyed the tent camp of anti-government activists that stood in front of the building on Odessa Kulikova Field Square. It was torched in a storming attempt after some of the anti-Maidan activists relying in the square barricaded themselves inside the building. The majority of the victims were found on the floors of the trade union's house, having apparently burned to death or suffocated from smoke. Others jumped out of the building's windows, according to police reports. 46 died and more than 200 wounded, according to the preliminary information of Prosecutor of Odessa region Igor Borshulyak and media reports. According to the later media sources, the radicals set the building on fire and blocked all doors, preventing those inside from getting out. The number of victims of neo-Nazis is about 100 people. The police was forbidden to intervene in clashes by the order given from Kiev, and snipers were used to motivate both sides in clashes by the orders and direct control, also coming from Kiev. Dozens of specialists from the US Central Intelligence Agency and Federal Bureau of Investigation are advising the Ukrainian government. Bild Sonntag newspaper, German newspaper, reported May the 4th. Citing unnamed German security sources, the German newspaper said that CIA and FBI agents were helping Kiev and the rebellion in the east of Ukraine and set up a functioning security structure. In the country, where about half of population prefers to speak Russian, in the eastern regions that number reaches 70 to 90%, official websites of SBU and the Ministry of Justice provide information only in the Ukrainian and the English language, which makes it unlikely to create assurance of the citizens in the partiality of these organizations and the authority on the whole. As Washington and NATO are not positioned at this time to move significant military forces in Ukraine with which to confront the Russian military, why is the Obama regime trying to provoke action by the Russian military? According to Paul Craig Roberts, a possible answer is that Washington's plan to evict Russia from its Black Sea naval base having gone away. Washington's fallback plan is to sacrifice Ukraine to a Russian invasion so that Washington can demonize Russia and force a large increase in NATO military spending and deployments. In other words, the fallback price is a new Cold War and trillions of dollars more in profits for Washington's military security complex. Attempts of further destabilization of the situation in the Ukraine with active participation of the USA are inevitable. In fact, the civil war has already started. There is a chance to avoid the nuclear war with such scenario, which is a suicide for the participants, and such suicide is not excluded in the case of loss of control over the process. In this situation, the most reactionary and pessimistic elements of the financial oligarchy of the USA are interested in a major international provocation, which, according to their designs, will allow reaching a number of purposes at once. Later we'll try to analyze these aspects, international aspects, of Ukrainian crisis. Thank you.